What was stolen?
One of the guests had his bag stolen. One of the guests had his...
Sorry. All
Man,
right,
I'm now so disappointed in myself because I saw RA's reaction when I paused.
Stole a guest.
One of
Oh
the
my.
guests was stolen, and I'm so disappointed in myself. Of course, that should have been written.
How do we know?
Welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play show set in the Eberron Campaign world. I'm the Game Master, and my name's Philip.
I'm Eric.
I'm Colin.
I'm annoyed with my cat.
And I'm Casey.
Gang, what happened last time? I'll tell you what didn't happen. I didn't have to do almost anything. It was great.
All
We're
the
changing
feelings.
that this episode.
Yeah,
Get to work.
we lightened the mood. We made it up tempo and exciting and happy. We talked and aired our grievances on this wonderful Festivus, and we came to the conclusion that we're all very annoyed with each other and we're not going anywhere.
Yep.
That
Which is excellent.
That
for
was
the future of this show.
An outstanding recap, right? That's it. If you missed last episode, that was it.
I mean, that sounds like the X-Men to me.
Yeah.
We're annoyed with each other and we're not going anywhere.
It's either the X-Men or a Fast and Furious movie. It's one of the two.
Oh man. I mean, the Fast and the Furious movies are basically superhero movies after a point. So
It's true. It's true.
All right. Well, let's pick up. And let's pick up with something amusing. I would like each of you to declare... our last scene was set entirely in the treehouse, but we don't. Our wonderful viewers know very little about what the treehouse looks like. We got descriptions of Pogs and Esri's rooms, but that was really it. And Casey informed us that it does have a door with a staircase that spirals up the trunk. But that's it. So first of all, I want to give Casey and Eric opportunities to define their characters' spaces. So Eric, what does Ari's room in the treehouse look like?
Ari's room is pretty well furnished. It looks like a room that somebody lives in, like permanent pieces of furniture, things like that. They're all old. Like not old as in like broken down, but out of style, I guess would be the best way to put it. Because most of this is like stuff that he gets from people during his day job. That's like, oh, thank you for getting me my mother's china set. Here, I don't need this headboard, kind of thing. And so it's not.
Ari's room is furnished by curb hunting.
Yes, essentially. So yeah, it's all of a much older style, which he doesn't mind. And then, you know, he has a pretty full dresser and armoire. Ari tries to dress as well as possible. He goes through a lot of shirts, as we've discovered, but and then of course he also has a circle of wood hung on the wall that he's painted just to look like a fake window, just because that makes him laugh. It's like a picture of the city that he overlooks, but with one finger, because there's only one nail holding it up, he can slide it, and there's this like kind of blown out hole in the wall from where he tested out his gun. So yeah,
I love it.
But that's
Fixed it with a nail.
and Ari's bed takes up about like a third of his room. Like he has a nice spacious queen, I would imagine. So yeah.
Okay.
Which
Casey,
is
how
why
about
I'm very
shades?
glad Casey did not establish a rope ladder, because then I was going to have to justify how we got all that stuff.
I mean, spiral staircase is not easy moving. I would imagine there's got to have been some hauling things up through the branches.
He bought Pog a few meals for assistance.
There you go.
So.
Just not from the food cart.
Yes.
Not from Zot's. Not from Zot's Hot Lots. Casey, what's Shade's space look like?
Shade's space is not a full room. She has taken the uppermost room and essentially knocked out part of the wall that looked out into the jungle. And so it's really just a floor around some of the branches and off of the trunk, and then a roof for part of it, but then it's just open space.
It's a
Most
porch.
of her correct, yes. Most of her like sitting areas are really just the branches on the tree. That's you can sit in that tree fork or this tree fork. And that's where she is most comfortable. That's where she spends most of her time. And then for decoration, it's mostly just pretty things that she found out on her expeditions when she was giving tours. A flower that had fallen and she dried and put up as decor in her room. But other than that, it's pretty simple.
All right, and then we've kind of established that there is a common area within that you enter into. I would like everyone to declare for me a feature, just a feature of the treehouse. Just give me a detail about this shared living space that you have. I don't care what order. So if somebody has one, immediately go for it.
There is a cast iron wood burning stove space heater thing with just a gnarly chimney, I guess. What do you call it? The pipe that kind of has to every now and then just like get rearranged on the outside as if the tree grows or if a branch breaks, so it's just this very like gnarly looking pipe that exits the top of the tree.
Awesome. All right.
I think near what can be designated as the kitchen, where any kind of food that we make is cooked, a branch actually comes into the tree house, like it's built around, and the branch comes up and then goes horizontal for a bit and then continues going vertical out. And there's actually a table and like benches set like built onto this branch that's like the dining table, built onto this branch in the tree house.
I want that dining room.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
All right.
Next to the wood burning stove, there's a hatch in the floor that we have the ability to pull up, probably about a 3x3 square as our dumbwaiter. That we can disconnect at the base floor, but that's what we use to load everything if we need to pulley anything that's heavy up, including the firewood that we would have burning, because we're not going to burn our tree.
Good call.
We're
Good
going
call.
to burn other trees.
Yes.
You underestimate Ari's laziness of just like burning.
So just
The intention is we don't
near
burn
the
our
dining
own
table.
trees. Ari's just snapping our house in pieces and burning it slowly.
And Casey?
We have a bookcase in the common room with actually a couple of books on it that were not easy to come by. not like we brought several books with us, but
Right.
I've slowly been trying to collect them.
Cool. What is one of the books about?
And can Shade read them?
Shade is learning how to read them. That's why they're in the common area. Ari has graciously offered to teach her how to read and to grow her business and be more marketable. She finally saw some value in it. Ari is a very... I hope this is okay for me to dictate this for
Go
you.
for it.
Ari, Ari is a very intuitive teacher, and so he did, in fact, gather books that Shade would be interested in. And so there is one that is sort of the foliage of Stormreach. That is a
Okay.
Identifies the different stuff that grows here.
Nice.
Sounds
Feels
like
guide.
Yes.
another one is a Tony Robbins book. What?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're referencing. I'm sorry.
Self-help.
Yeah, self-help.
Okay.
Improve yourself. Improve your business.
She's a survivor, and if being a better business person increases her ability to survive, yes, she'll read that book too.
Next, we'll work on
With the
Bateman,
help of
but
Ari.
one step at a time.
So, you have all stayed up late into the night, conversing or sitting quietly in contemplation, depending on. But eventually, all of you, of necessity, yield to sleep, since none of you can skip sleep, right? Kalashtar have to sleep, right? Okay, yeah.
Do have to sleep.
So-
We don't get to
You
dream.
just don't dream.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. And all of you eventually pass out. As you sleep, Shade, you have a dream that's been recurring. You're smaller. There are trees just towering all around you. And you're running through the wood. You can't remember what you're looking for. But all of a sudden you break out of the trees into an open clearing. But actually, as you look around, you realize it's not a clearing. It's just that the trees have now grown so large, and their branches so wide that the space between their trunks is vast. And built out of the trunks and within the branches, there is a tower lit by starlight, with arches all made out of the living trees. And you stare up at it in wonder, and then all of a sudden there is this sound like tearing, and you see it again, and it's charred and scorched and broken, and the windows have been smashed, and it's empty, and the light is no longer this sort of beautiful perpetual starlit night. It's just the harsh sunlight, and the trees have all changed, and they're tangled and closer, and you hear strange birds, and then you wake up. So the next morning, you guys kind of
Long
worked
rest?
out that you weren't gonna cut and run immediately, but didn't really decide what to do about some of the night's revelations. Ari, it looks like he has something to say.
Do we complete a long rest?
You do complete a long rest. Yes. Yes, you do complete a long rest. I didn't mention it last episode, and it didn't become relevant, but you have all, for our viewers, they know, our party leveled up to level 2. So, huzzah! Ding! Whatever. Foosh.
Grats.
Grats, yes. So,
GG.
congratulations on level 2. Huzzah. You have, I think now, no one with single-digit hit points, which is a lovely milestone to pass because I'm less concerned about killing you outright in the event of combat.
Did you end up taking the spell that we talked about us having shared access to? Mm-hmm. You did? Okay.
All right. So, who wakes up earliest among the party? Just as a matter of course. Is anyone just up with the sun?
Ari is very
had a
accustomed to
nightmare.
getting little sleep. So if that's a new thing for everyone else, then Ari would probably be up relatively early compared to everyone else.
Pog works at a bar, so he's accustomed to sleeping late from having
Right.
gotten
From working
in late.
late. Yep.
So Ari's up.
Sure.
Esri, no, doesn't get up on his own for the most part.
Shade is a fairly early riser.
He might be awake, but he doesn't get up.
So you guys begin to gather. Ari is up making oatmeal
As you do.
when Shade comes down into the common space. Since you declared that you live on the higher level, what is the transition like between Shade's sort of upper story porch and the common room? Does Shade come down through a hatch, or is it climb down the tree and come in through a window? Like what is Shade's way of going between
There's
rooms?
there's a little hatch. There's no sort of stairs or ladder up to her loft. It is just climbing the tree, and that is what makes her feel most at home. Is having to actually climb a tree. The fancy staircase makes it feel less like a tree.
So Shade climbs down through the ceiling of the living room.
Ari jumps because Ari has a -1 perception, so I imagine he is easily startled by people walking around. And so, good morning. Oatmeal's almost done. Did you want fruit or sugar?
Fruit, please.
All right. And
How did you sleep?
fine. Once Ezri and I were done talking, I went in and head hit the pillow and off to dreamland. What about you?
I keep
You
having
okay?
this nightmare. No. And then she just tells you the nightmare. It's happened several times now, and I've never seen this place before, but it makes me very sad that it's destroyed. It's so beautiful.
Sounds like it. Is it? I mean, I know that you grew up in Eldine Reaches. Is it like your home? I mean, does it remind you of that?
It is not, right?
I mean, other than the really enormous trees would be
Right.
home-like, but
Also trees in a forest.
sure.
No, I've never seen anything like it. It's incredible and huge and intricate. Man, I hope I can visit it. I hope that place exists.
Sounds great. I mean, up until the end of your dream.
No, that would be terrible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I knew a couple of people that were interpreters of dreams and knew about such things. Have you tried talking to anybody like that about it?
No, you're the
I mean, it
first
might be
person
worth-
I've told about it.
Well, thanks for telling me about it. Might be worth talking to somebody who knows about such things. Maybe, if you want to. And Kettle starts whistling, and he grabs the water and starts pouring it over the oats.
I take my seat at the table. Because I imagine we all have like our, or at least Shade has her specific seat she goes to.
Yeah.
It's probably literally your seat, like it's the one that you found and brought up. Because I assume you don't have a matching dining set.
Well, and being the short one in the party, I probably had to find one a little taller than the rest of them.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a dream like that I didn't have some reference for, I guess. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I have nightmares and stuff too, but it's real odd, real strange.
At that point, Esri will walk out. What's that about dreams?
I'm having a recurring nightmare. But the place in my dream nightmare I've never seen before.
Is it? What is it? You said it's a nightmare. What's?
Well, the place in my dream is gorgeous. It's lovely. Jungle of the goddesses. It's stunning. And then in my dream, right before I wake up, it's destroyed. It's so sad.
Philip is. Am I getting any tinglings from No Chiron?
No, nothing specific. You feel, and maybe this is one of the areas where you and your spirit are more in sync. You do feel sort of this surge of interest inside, because of course, on any matter of nightmares, the part of the fragment of Noshiron that dwells in you would be certainly interested, but not an immediate familiarity with what she describes.
While they're having this conversation, Ari's in the kitchen frying up 3 pieces of bacon. Also, just
Yeah.
That's not enough bacon. I'm just
Oh,
going to throw that out there.
it's only for one person. It's the only way to get him out of bed in the morning.
From the other room.
It's probably still not enough bacon.
What are the evil quarry called? Are they just all quarry?
Quarry is the type of spirit. The evil quarry are referred to as the dreaming dark. Where and importantly, and you would have been thoroughly indoctrinated in this idea. The quarry spirits that made an alliance with your ancestors were of the dreaming dark. They're renegades from the dark side, essentially, and so they abandoned the dreaming dark to follow and teach mortals the path of light.
So just sort of casually, oh, yeah, that's the dreaming dark. There's sort of like an internal war going on between like the really like evil dream spirits and like the used to be but not like totally evil dream spirits now that are We can't hear
You're
you.
muted, I think.
But they don't cause all the nightmares, right, Esri? Like, you're not implying that one was somehow responsible for Shade's nightmare.
Well, I mean,
You
they
weren't
do live.
implying that.
They do. In who knows? It's a dream. Tough to say.
I would like to know more about this.
You really wouldn't. It's long and boring. I mean, there's like a whole catechism. It's
Good morning.
Can I be harmed by a dream spirit that's attacking
Pog.
me in my nightmares?
Here you go, buddy.
you gonna share the bacon this time, or
He eats all 3 slices at once.
okay?
They're still hot. They're still. And now here's your oatmeal with fruit. We talked about this.
I should have waited on the bacon. He sits down at his seat and starts eating.
Well, Shade, is this the first time you've had this nightmare?
No, it's happened before. I thought it was just a random dream and it would go away, but it keeps happening, and particularly having it after last night doesn't make me feel good.
Nightmares? And he takes one piece of fruit and drops it through a slit in the floor. Straight down to the bottom. Continues eating from the vacant spot where the fruit used to be.
Shade slides her bowl over to Pog, and he
What
can
was your
discard
dream? And he
any
starts
other fruit.
spooning the fruit into her bowl.
He pulls it back. Thank you.
Ezra reaches over and takes one out of Shade's bowl.
And so I tell
All I know is
Pog the
Solarka
dream.
eats her fruit in the morning. So,
Prove it.
anyway, continue, Shade. Sorry.
Yeah, so Shade just shares the nightmare with Pog too. So we're just Esther said it could be a dark dream spirit. So apparently that's a thing. Ari said that I could visit a dream interpreter.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So those
Charlatans mostly.
Obviously.
Listen,
regardless, we should probably talk about how we're gonna go about returning to the city.
I mean, I don't know where Falco is anymore now. Our opportunity is flown with the dawn in that regard, unless we come across him again. So
Pog sets the bowl down, done. What bar were you at last night?
oh, Spotted Boar.
Well, just one bar.
I'm asking in relation to Sword and Sheath, if that's someone may have seen or may see me if I go back to work.
I'd imagine Spotted Boar being in the crossing somewhere in that. So I don't know where that is in relation to your.
That's probably, I think Pog's, I think we established that the Sword and Shield is probably up to the east of where you live right now in Summerfield, in Grindstone, which is the heart of Swords of Karn territory. So I would imagine it's probably in the next ward over. So not near the Spotted Pig. The Spotted Pig would be north of you in one of the probably not far from the Thurashk refinery in Cross. So
Spotted boar, by the way.
spotted
I
boar.
was
What did I say?
waiting. Oh, I
Spotted
was
pig.
waiting.
Oh,
I was
my bad.
waiting for that correction.
Spotted pig is a thing. I don't know where it's from, though.
please.
It's a restaurant that Jim references on an episode of The Office that him and Karen go eat at when they're in New York.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. I'm a repository for that kind of stuff.
This-
So
I mean, that's probably right. I that's probably what it pinged in my head. So I'm not that much better off.
I'm impressed and disappointed in equal measure right now.
you should be.
So going back to the city is the
Right.
topic that Shade has brought up.
I mean, we're not leaving. We've established that last night, and I guess just to get a general sense, how much, because Ari's appearance has changed a fair bit since his time in the program. From like a practical standpoint, I get how much have you all grown up? I guess like would Falco spot any of you on the street? Because I feel like Ari's
Right.
appearance has changed enough to where he might be able to give the slip, but
Shade is still a fox person.
in a world that has fox people, I mean,
Pog is basically the difference between season 3 and season 4 of Bjorn in Vikings. Like I've just got more beard and
lot more beard.
longer hair on top.
Yeah.
okay.
So not a lot of disguise there.
I'm not sure with Esri. I mean, obviously, Kalishtar are somewhat exotic, but they're also like all sort of flawlessly symmetrical. So it, I suppose, depends on
Can he tell them apart?
Yeah, I
Can he
don't.
tell
I'm not sure. He
Kalishtar
hasn't
apart?
changed that much, but yeah, you'd have to get pretty intimate to see the facial distinctions.
And also, you said Falco oversaw most of the pods. Like,
Yeah,
so,
Falco was the master at arms essentially for the program, so he didn't only oversee you. So I mean, he's in town, and obviously you guys have feelings about that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that in a city of tens of thousands of people that he's going to immediately spot you in a crowd.
And in the Institute, we, if I remember correct, weren't given any reason to believe we were necessarily special in
Right.
those that were there. So if he oversaw all the other kids, I mean, this isn't practice for the Hunger Games. There was nothing necessarily outstanding about us because everybody there was like us.
Ari was remarkably terrible, so he might like, but so yeah, Ari would say it's not like Soren is in town walking around. That would be a whole different can of worms.
At that
But-
moment, someone knocked. No, I'm kidding.
Ari grabs his gun.
Why are there worms
know, I've-
in a can?
I actually did some more thinking last night.
Oh, good.
Whoa!
I'm just kidding.
Once all the talking stopped, it occurs to me that our problem
He
right
means you,
now.
Ari.
How angry you are at each other?
No, we need more than just ourselves. We need we need allies.
Solarka is a friend.
And friends are good. I was thinking more powerful folk.
She is
more-
powerful.
She's very strong and very skilled.
Sits upright, defensively bristling.
Well, let's think beyond Solarka. A fine woman, but perhaps more institutionally powerful.
I don't really like many people other than Solarica.
Hello. I'm
Harish,
right here.
I like her. Oh, outside of our pod. He's talking about bringing people in. So,
I'm talking about expanding our footprint a little bit.
you want more people to know that we're here?
Not specifically in that way, but we do have a established relationship with the swords. We could possibly make that. What?
Oh, I was saying, Arby's just gesturing. Kind of. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, that's an avenue. Perhaps we could make ourselves more useful to them. I'm just thinking if someone comes looking, or
yeah. I mean,
if Falco comes finding.
I don't know about you all, but like I said last night, building communities is kind of my thing, and my
It is
time
not mine.
I know. You have other talents that have literally kept me alive in the past, so it's all good. I've been working in the cross for a while and meeting people, and there's a group of folks over there called Danel's Wrath that, like, they're a militia. Like, I'm not friendly with them, but I'm not in with them, but we're on decent terms from my time over there. So that's another group that we could chat up. And I don't think it's about going around and telling everybody we're marked or anything, but just, maybe becoming more upstanding members of the community.
Is
Hearts
that going to
and
be a
minds.
problem for the swords?
I don't think so. Frankly, at this point, that ship has sailed. Like, for me anyway. But we could get in with the swords deeper if we want. Like, they scare me a little, but
Well, that's kind of the point, isn't it?
that's what they're going for, and mission accomplished. But no, I think if we just continue the way we've been going, of keeping to ourselves, minding our business, we're a small group, and a small group has few resources. More resources than if we were on our own, I'll grant you. But the more we can do for people in our neighborhood without necessarily giving up our mark, without necessarily like broadcasting that we're powerful people, but stopping a mummy that's running around in the street. People can see us without knowing who we are and come to rely on us. And then if the wrong people come knocking, then we're not alone.
Speaking of the mummy, Philip, what was his name?
The elf? Halas Martain.
Yeah.
The world famous Halas Martain.
Yes.
Of the Wayfinders.
Halas Martain already saw what we could do.
They saw us.
Yes, but listen, there's a methodology to this, and like, yes, Shade, you can make thunder come out of your hands and knock people on their butts. So can a lot of people. And
Don't get that one backwards.
Pog can set a sword on fire, and we're not alone in our abilities. It's just what fuels them that scares people. And we're untrained to their eye. We don't know how to control our ability. Whereas a wizard doing what Shade does has studied for years to learn how to do it. And so, as long as we're
Does
not
it
reckless.
on purpose.
What?
I said, and does it on purpose.
And does it on purpose. Yes, that is correct.
One day.
One day.
I high five Shade.
And a tiny thunderclap. As long as we can be in control, as in control as we can be, then I mean, we're not going to stand out that much unless they see the mark. And I feel like I've shown, as of last night, I would literally give the shirt off my back to protect your all secrets.
You lose your shirt a lot anyway, though.
But this time it was for a noble reason.
Like it's on a holster.
All right. Listen,
Do you get them tailored special just to come off at the like?
that was a test. That was the prototype. It did not work. It's fine.
Breakaway clothes.
No, I think if we keep hiding, then we continue to put ourselves at risk of being found. Whereas if we gotta get out ahead of this stuff, and if we are members of this community and people that are respected and seen as vital, the Dragon Mark houses don't run this town yet. Thanks, Stormlord Omerin. But as it stands right now, Falco's power here is much less diminished than it is back where we came from. And so I think if we get out ahead of this, it makes us better and stronger. But that's just me. Like, I'm not going to force any of you all to be standing out in the square, fighting off Lord knows what rolls into this city. But maybe if somebody needs something a bit more covert done, like maybe we help out with that. But I think that's our next step, at least the way I see it, is if we gain people's trust and then a time comes where something unavoidably reveals our marks, like Falco spouting off to everybody, they're aberrants, but we've shown them we are good people. We're good people who care about them and will look out for them. Then it won't matter. Because right now it will matter. It will be our defining trait to anybody in this city.
Shade, do you have an expedition today?
Do I just declare?
Today you do not.
Nope.
All right, come to the jungle with me. I'll show you the right leaves to pick.
I thought
Wait, are we
what I
just-
said was
are we
pretty
just-
inspirational and deserves some kind of reaction, but I guess I'm going to go to work.
Are we just leaving mid conversation? Because Esther, that it could combine your idea with Ari's idea of like taking and doing things for powerful people that make them happy and like us more. So it's like we could do both.
Could. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I need some spending cash first.
Before you do
mean-
nice things for people?
Gotta eat.
Once again, I'm not going to tell you all how to proceed from here. Just in my experience, powerful people want power. And if you are a threat to their holding on to power, they're going to sell you out pretty darn quick. But we can try it that way. We can try that play.
Wait, so are you saying help out people that don't have power? So they like us?
I mean, I feel like calling them people without power is a bit degrading. Let's just call them regular
I
folk.
like people who don't have power. I think they're great people. People who have power are the worst.
I like the way you think, Shade.
Thank you.
No, I'm like, power comes I don't know where I was going to go with the rest of that sentence.
But you look convincing.
Yeah. We could help powerful people and hope that their power protects us. Or by helping a lot of people, we become powerful.
Then do we become bad people?
No. Hopefully not. I don't know. I don't think so. But I think our time in the shadows is done. And I would love to hear from the rest of you about your thoughts on that, because it's a pretty bold take. But we got dragon marked houses here. We got somebody that knows us here. We got somebody back from the dead, apparently, that walked out in the morning.
I saw him. I
And
really did.
I believe you.
You know, it occurs to me, just from saying that phrase aloud, Ari,
Yeah.
and spending a bunch of time, I'm sorry, Ari, not
Oh,
Ra.
I'm sorry.
Spending a bunch of time in Cross. There's literally a whole group of people over there who claim to have walked out of the morning.
Yep. That's why I don't know if you noticed, but the whole time you were describing Tommel being alive, I was squinting at the camera suspiciously at you. But so yeah, I mean, that
Do
would
with that whatever you will. I'm just throwing that
yeah,
out there.
yeah, that's something that's in the back of Ari's mind, but not. I guess he doesn't find it important enough to verbalize that. I don't know if any of you all would be familiar with this group, depending on the circles that you run in, but
I would say probably all of you have heard of, and you can just decide whether this is something that you think about enough to come to mind. Definitely Pog, having spent a lot of time with the Swords of Karn, would have heard about their mix-ups with other gangs. And one of the gangs that hangs out in Cross, over in Denel's Pride, are called the Stormhammers, who are a very, very violent gang, but they all claim to have walked out of the morning. They claim they were in Khyber on the day of mourning and that they walked out alive. So there is a group of people here who claim to have done that, which might at least lend some, depending on whether you believe them, lend some plausibility to what Shade is suggesting about Tommel being here.
Their name is so much cooler. I want to go work at their bar.
They're usually recruiting.
Pog, don't you walk down a road I can't follow.
All right. What are we doing, gang? Go into the forest? Go into work? Or are we making some sort of
I'm
grand
going
joint
to the
action
forest. I
today?
will say, like, I think we have some things to think about and some contacts to consider. But I need a walk in the woods and some coin in my pocket.
I'm down for it.
I mean, Ari will just present this for the group just so it's out there. I mean, if you all go walk in the woods, at some point, Danelle's Wrath, the group I was talking about, have had altercations in the past that I've witnessed with a group called the Stormhammers in Danelle's Pride. That if Tommel is walking around the city, that is a group that he may have aligned himself with because they claim to have survived the morning. And Tommel did that. But I would rather go talk with a member of Danelle's Wrath, since they have pretty close interactions with the Stormhunters, to ask about somebody matching Tommel's description, and if they've had any altercations with somebody looking like him, as opposed to going and hunting down the Stormhammers directly, if you get my meaning, because they're a bad lot. So I would love to have some backup if you all want to come be a part of that. But so they're Danelle's Wrath. I mean, they have wrath in their name, so you can imagine their disposition most of the time. So their leader's name is Fury. So also leading into the anger issues that group tends to have.
So could we like walk in the woods and then go visit, ask around later today?
You can go walk in the woods. I will find something else to. I got some jobs outstanding that I need to go deal with. We can meet up after your walk in the woods.
Yes,
to go.
That's what I meant.
Do that. Okay, thank goodness.
You guys come tell me when you're ready. I'm gonna go to work. You know where to find me.
All right, Betty.
Find you. All right, oatmeal was fantastic as always. Thank you for breakfast.
Do what I can.
Are we out of bacon?
Yes. Pog has not noticed the safe that Ari has built into one of the cupboards of the kitchen.
I was just thinking that you have a secret stash.
Secret bacon stash.
Yes. My bacon treasure. You'll never find it.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right.
All right,
So
Esri? Jungle walk.
yeah. So Esri and Shade are heading to the jungle. Pog is headed to the Sword and Sheath, and Ari is headed over to Cross to try and find useful things he can do. So Esri, what is it? What is it you intend? Are you actually just looking for some pharmaceuticals to sell?
No, I mean I am. I will gather what I find, but once we're well and truly in the thick of it, say, Ari seems to be made of hopes and dreams and words, but he did say something that I agree with.
I like it when y'all agree. That just makes me feel like we're gonna stay together a little bit longer. I enjoy it.
Good. So yeah, he was right. We need to be more in control. Specifically, you need to be more in control.
I don't know that I like it when you agree about a weakness I have. I don't like that as much.
You might like this. And I will sort of pounce at her.
Oh no.
Oh my.
Are you making an attack?
I am, with no intent behind it other than to provoke.
I would like to very much react.
And how would you react, since RA's intention is simply provoking? I won't bother with a roll, since it probably doesn't require a roll to provoke.
I would like to do a new thing I got.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
A new thing.
Yes. I mean, she doesn't do this intentionally. She just sort of eeks. And I'm just so excited about this, and I blame you, Philip. And mid pounce, a tree just like scoops him up.
Yes.
If I get to succeed on this.
Okay. What is the saving throw?
It is
What are you casting?
entangle.
Is that I think that's a strength saving throw, right?
It is a strength saving throw.
Which is, as we all know, Esri's
Very strong.
massive stat. Make a strength saving throw for Esri, if you would.
Sure.
RA.
That's going to be 16.
Succeeds.
So, yeah, suddenly there is a couple of branches suddenly sort of draw together with their Mike's there. I shouldn't gesture right there. With their branches sort of entwining like a net, and you just barely sort of tumble over it instead of being caught in it.
Come on, using my own tricks against me.
Did you see the tree do that?
Yes, I did, but that's not what I was looking for.
I would like to go over and pat the tree. Thank you.
I will
Next time.
I will ostentatiously cast hyperbole and and scream, "Come on, hit me!" and swing at her again.
Make an attack roll.
Not
Okay.
like this.
Seven.
All right,
Rolled
so
very
you
badly.
have missed. So Esri swings away at you with his shillelagh, and what does Shade do in response?
I think she cast lightning lure.
Awesome. I believe that one's another strength saving throw.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I would like you to.
9.
Excellent. You do not succeed.
So what happens?
You are struck by lightning. You do receive.
Session 2, and we already have our first PvP fight.
You do receive 6 lightning damage,
Okay.
and you are pulled to me. At which point,
Okay, hold on. As a reaction, I'm going to cast Absorb Elements,
no, thank you.
which does... I have resistance to the triggering damage type until the start of my next turn.
You take 3 lightning damage.
Okay. And I store up that damage to add to my next melee attack.
Oh, that's cool.
The staff in his hand starts crackling with lightning.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's just an extra d6. It's not 1-to-1, but yeah.
And so now you should be right in front of me. I've pulled you towards me with this lightning.
And it would be Esri's turn.
Well,
Can she speak?
sure.
Oh, yeah, you can speak. Oh,
Okay.
Yes, Bobby.
And so having him right there should be like, what are you doing?
And he'll go, and take a step back. Good. Now do that. Again. On purpose.
I don't want to hurt you.
I'll be fine.
Well, that's
And he's just sort of holding
very
his stick.
cocky of you.
And I will also, so on my turn, I will take the dodge.
Okay.
Well, that's not going to give me help on a strength save, is it?
No.
Okay. Then that's fine. I won't do anything. I'll wait.
Shade is going to try to muster up all her anger and frustration with Esri and whatever craziness that he is doing. And attempt to cast lightning lure again. I'm going to roll a d20 to see whether or not she's able
Sure.
to do it. Oh, she does not.
All right, so you feel your mark sort of warm on your shoulder, but the lightning doesn't occur.
And nothing
What
happens.
All right. Let's try it the other way around.
I jump at you?
No,
Okay.
don't do it.
And I attack her again.
Okay. So go for it.
$18.
That I think hits.
Yes.
Okay. You take 6 damage.
Some of it
Ew.
lightning.
Well, no, because I held my. I didn't do anything on my turn.
Oh,
so
it
did dissipate.
Dissipated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess the question goes, for the purposes of this scene, is not so much which of you is going to knock the other out first, but does Shade give in to this? It's clear that Esri is trying to get Shade to. I think Esri is trying to get Shade to spar with him, to do a sparring session to see if she can get control of her mark. Shade has been reluctant so far. Is Shade going to give in to this and participate?
She is willing to try. Whether or not she's successful in doing that is another thing. But she's willing to take. She trusts Esri enough. She's willing to take that guidance. She doesn't love the way it's being done. But
The first time in when they're sparring that she does or doesn't. She either does something intentionally or doesn't do something unintentionally. Esri just goes, yeah, yes. Oh, and just collapses, like all bruised. Yeah. Oh, you did it. That's good. Come here. And he'll cast Goodberry and
Offer you a druid mushroom.
yeah, split up some mushrooms and start chomping. Like,
Did you just make a Mario sound with your mushrooms appeared?
I just.
no,
mark-
eat it.
Okay. Do you make enough mushrooms for me to return to full health?
I gave you 5 and myself 5,
Okay. So close.
or I'll give you 6 because I don't need that many.
And you damaged me.
All right. Go ahead.
My mark protects me when I need it. I don't always ever control it, but it takes care of me. And I don't need to. Well, I would like to control that better, but I'm not upset that it doesn't do what I want, because it has a mind of its own, and it does well.
It also gets you and us into trouble.
Well, I was not trying to attract a giant mummy, so I guess that's a fair point.
Look, you could do this. You just didn't have enough training. We left too soon for that. But we'll pick that up now. And you'll get the hang of it.
I don't. Yeah, I'm scared that I won't. It does put us in danger, and I have tried. It just, I don't know. It seems like a reaction, and I don't know how to react when I don't need it. But I appreciate you trying. That was nice of you.
Yeah,
and we'll do it again tomorrow.
Next time you'll.
Oh, look,
me?
and just get up. There it is, right there, and reach down to this bush, low-lying bush, and start trimming off the leaves.
Awesome.
I will help him gather.
And you gather a fair amount. Shifting back over, Pog, as you come into the Sword and Shield, we haven't really gotten to see the Sword and Shield yet, and it is very much a soldier's bar. The men in here are stereotypical scarred veterans for the most part. The proprietor, tell me something about the proprietor of the Sword and Shield. We haven't learned anything about your boss. What
Valid.
species is your boss?
He's human.
Okay.
He is a short, stocky man. It's similar in build to an upright freezer. He is just kind of a presence. Very loud, very boisterous. Well, but we're not really sure if he himself ever actually saw combat, or if he's just one of those tactical kind of guys that is kind of self-confident by proxy. He kind of sponges the stories around him. Just a loud, cantankerous, older, not old, but older middle-aged man.
Okay. Would you like to name him?
I'm sorry, our program completely cut your audio out after would you like?
Would you like to name him?
I don't have a name. I don't have a name for him. So you can...
Anyone else want to suggest a name for the
Somebody name my boss for
proprietor of the Sword and
Can't Anchorus.
Anyone else like to name the proprietor
Carl.
of the Sword
So
and Shield?
Carl is what I heard.
Did you say Carl?
Yeah, it's about as
Fair enough.
about as bland for
K-A-R-L,
this. Yeah,
Carl,
of course.
that's his name.
Mortal Kombat style.
Yeah. Carl is there. It's early. There's some men in eating, but it's early for it to be busy. And he is speaking to someone who has the Swords of Karn. Unlike most of the Stormreach has several militias, but the Swords of Karn are the most formal in their appearance, rivaled probably only by the Knights of Thrain, who are a militia that operate in an entirely different part of the city, and so you probably haven't really had any run-ins with them. But they wear military uniform. They have an insignia that they wear on their shoulders. That is very simply 3 different styles of swords crossed with their points up and fanned. And so there's several of them. And there's also just regular people in here. It's not like exclusive to members of the swords. But Carl is speaking to one of the servers, who is a female dwarf, and she is looking downcast. And as you come in, you hear what is pretty clearly the tail end of a conversation about not having a job anymore. And as you sort of move in and set your things down and get switch
Put my
into
apron
work
on.
mode. Yeah, put your apron on. She sighs heavily, and he's clearly sad, and presses a little pouch into her hands, and she goes out the door.
Everything okay, Carl?
Another theft last night. Not her, but I gotta pay the rent. I can't keep the staff all the same, and I can do without a server better than I can do without anything else right now. So till we figured it out.
What was stolen?
One of the guests had his bag stolen. One of the guests had his.
Sorry.
Man, I'm now so disappointed in myself because I saw RA's reaction when I paused.
Stole a guest?
One of
Oh
the
my.
guests was stolen, and I'm so disappointed in myself. Of course, that should have been like, no.
How do we know? Okay.
One of the guests had his bags stolen, and of course, it was full of immensely valuable things, for which I have become financially liable, and I still have to, pay my rent to the swords, and so you still have a job for the moment. I can't do anything, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm about to have to stop accepting guests. It's been guest rooms every time.
It was out of the rooms?
Yeah. Locked door.
I don't know what to do about that, but I have some friends that they think a lot better than I do. If you'd like me to see if they can help, I can bring them by.
I can't pay much for hiring inquisitives, but obviously any help you bring be much appreciated. I'd certainly owe you.
Do you know how to make half and half?
What's that?
I think he can teach you.
Is that like heavy cream, right?
I don't know.
I don't
could be.
make my own, but I know where to get heavy cream.
That might be it.
One of these days, Pog's going to come back to the treehouse and just pour Ari a big glass of heavy cream and be like, I made a drink for you.
It's from my boss. I'm seeing them this afternoon. Are you going to be here?
Oh, I am. When am I not here?
When you're gone.
I'll be here. I'll be here, Pog. No, don't worry about it.
They're coming to see me. I'll tell them to talk to you. And I don't know who their friends are, but maybe we can help somehow.
Like I say, I can't offer a lot in payment, but certainly in gratitude, and I can offer free drinks.
That'll be good, I think. That'll be good. Okay. I'll talk to you about this more when they get here.
Appreciate it.
Grab a bus tub.
And shifting over, Ari, what have you found as a job today? Just to round out our look at your daily lives.
I mean, probably just a pretty bog standard new merchant in town, has antiquities from the now defunct nation of Khyber, and come by the artifacts and stuff. And so probably a small family, knowing that Ari does this kind of stuff for people, has asked him that this merchant they saw in his stand, their grandfather's sword, and so would like Ari to try to get it at a much cheaper price than an official antique Kyran longsword would draw on the market. So
As you arrive at that stall, you see you are not the first one there.
Great.
You see, in fact, that there are some large, tough-looking fellows who seem to be speaking to him about the rent, and about the licensing fee to put up a stall here in. You said you mostly go in
Denell's Pride.
Saltier. Oh, Denell's Pride.
Saltier. It's Saltier, Denell's Pride, yeah. But I figure a Kyran Antiquities person would set up in
That's
Denell's
fair.
Pride.
Denell's Pride is, yeah, that's a good point. And he's, I mean, I don't have, I mean, what can I do? How can I make this right? And the big burly human that's sort of looming over him, he says, well, today I think we can just we could take rent in kind, if you follow. Of course. How much is rent in kind exactly? And the 4 or 5 toughs that are with him sort of pile into the stall and start just grabbing things and sticking them on their belts. And one of them, you see very obviously, the big guy takes exactly the long sword you're looking for and sort of slings it on his back and says, now, the next time you set up without permission from the Stormhammers, be a different conversation. All right? All right. Let's go, boys. And they turn and walk out. And as they're walking out, you also spot a tall, flaxen-haired elf that you find very familiar. And they head off down the street. What does Ari do?
Ari pauses the game for a second while he hums and haws over a vital decision. And is this fake, like, is the flaxen-haired person that you're clearly alluding to being Tommel wearing any kind of uniform or anything as Ari just kind of glances at him? Anything that would be noticeable?
To a degree. The Stormhammers don't exactly have a uniform, but they definitely have a dress code.
Okay.
And that dress code is a couple notches short of Mad Max.
Gotcha. Okay.
So piecemeal armor, anything that can have spikes has spikes.
Okay. Ari will. He can't not. Ari's going to go ahead and think in his head, oh, the ransack had happened before I got here. Darn. And head over to Tommel.
Okay. Are you going to try to get Tommel's attention, or are you just following?
We established that Ari had a very positive relationship with Tommel and relied on him pretty heavily. And I think that it would be tough for him to, in a knee-jerk reaction moment, stop himself from trying to engage.
Okay.
So I think he takes a few steps and in the most familiar tone possible, just goes, "Hey, Tommel."
The elf sort of stiffens and turns, and once he turns his face towards you, you see there has been a change. Tommel has no whites to his eyes. His eyes are entirely black, which is not a reality of Tommel as you knew him before. Just to clarify that. It's not just, oh, you remember now. Oh, but
Yeah.
that's just Tommel.
Oh, that Tommel with the shark's eyes.
And he sort of
Why we call him
narrows,
Black Eye Tommel?
narrows his eyes, looks for a minute. Ari?
Hey, man.
And that's where we'll stop.
Okay.
Because that's a good stopping point.
man.
So we'll pause there. Hope you are enjoying this sort of a slow burn episode that has been, I think, very revealing about our characters in ways that I find wonderful and have given me all sorts of delightful ideas, frankly. So this is great.
Oh no, we gave you the TN ideas.
Right.
So anyway, we very much hope you are enjoying this. If you would like to get in touch with us, you can comment below. You can also come over to our Discord and our other various social medias, the links to which are all down below. I forgot to make the obligatory pitch that we do also have a Patreon. If you are enjoying what we're doing and you'd like to make it possible for us to continue to sort of upgrade our, mostly just the technical side, because I can't promise an improvement in my ability as a DM. Feel free to check us out at patreon.com/thegeekpantheon. We have lots of different tiers over there.
He could,
for
but
you to
he
pursue.
won't.
Yes, that's right. I could make promises, but I try not to lie, especially when it's being recorded. Anyway, so you can check us out at our various social media or over on Patreon, the links to which are all down below. You can also find links to Colin down below on all of his socials and his Twitch stream where he is sorry BTR, and I'm going to see if I can do it in the same cadence that he does. The O is a 0.
Is that how it reads?
One other thing you'll see down in the
just me
description
trying to be
below
cool.
is we're currently doing a campaign to 2,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, and when we hit that, we're going to give away any D&D 5th edition book you want. So not to everybody, but we'll do it once. So to all 2,000 of you.
Oh, Eric, what have you done?
So a fair number of you do watch this show who are not subscribed to the channel. It's free, so just hit that button and you might get a free book out of it. So yeah.
Huzzah. Anyway, hope you've had fun. I have, and we'll see you next time. I am Philip.
I'm Eric.
I'm saying hi to Argos for Laura.
Aw, dog.
Oh.
I'm RA.
And I'm Casey.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, Ari, how does it feel?